Well, here you go. Coinbase cuts headcount by 14%, citing AI acceleration. You've got to be scared of the AI. But the thing that I find funny, again, being in the world of clickbait, look, I know what I do here. I am not lying to anybody with what I do here. But what I think is kind of funny in this kind of clickbait, rage bait world is you have the title, and then if you go down to like the first sentence in the article, it's not quite that, right? So everything, we're all supposed to be blaming everything on AI acceleration. And if we come down here, we can see citing a combination of market volatility and AI quickly changing how the company operates. So are they laying off 700 employees because of AI? Or are they laying off 700 employees because the macroeconomic forces are kind of screwed right now? Which is gonna get the better clickbait? That is the question. So anyways, yeah, it looks like Coinbase is going to be laying off 700 employees. And basically what it comes down to is market volatility. Bitcoin is down by a chunk this year. A lot of the cryptocurrencies are running into issues. Again, the macroeconomic forces are a bit of a disaster. It's weird. Look, I don't. This is why I'm not an economist, because I have no idea why we're not in a recession or possibly a depression at this point in time. To be clear, under the Biden administration, we had what was called the everything bubble, the idea that everything was overvalued. And then we have the Trump administration come in. He puts tariffs, again, whether you agree with tariffs or disagree with tariffs, tariffs come, tariffs go. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. So you have all this business volatility. Then we get into a war with Iran, and the Strait of Hormuz is shut down. I mean, just because 4 ships were attacked and a UAE facility was hit by missiles, that doesn't mean the ceasefire is over. No, we still have a ceasefire. We still have a ceasefire. Ignore that UAE oil facility that's on fire. I mean, come on, during a ceasefire, I mean, you can toss a couple of ballistic missiles at each other, can't you? Anyway, we have all of this kind of stuff going on, and the economy, we're told, is doing fine, which is crap. Again, we all know there's problems with the economy, right? And so we have a lot of these technology companies right now, and basically they're having to reassess, and they're having to deal with macro forces, and they're having to lay people off. As I've talked about before, they way overhired during the COVID pandemic. There was no particular reason to hire the number of people that they did, and so now they are trying to get rid of people. I do think that there is an interesting question with artificial intelligence, with not really getting rid of your vital employees. There's a book by this guy, Seth Godin. Godin was like the, he was what? He was the Gary Vaynerchuk, or who's the new one? I was just watching him the other Galloway. He was like the Galloway of the early 2000s. But anyways, he did a book talking about how to be a linchpin in your business and your organization. And one of the big questions with artificial intelligence is basically, is AI going to take out your linchpins? Is AI going to take out your valuable employees? And I've argued no. One of the things that is interesting with artificial intelligence, though, is that a lot of companies have a lot of fat. Right, you talk with an employee, and one of the things you should never remind them is that they're a cog. Right? Employees are cogs, basically by definition. You want a couple of them, right? So if one of them goes spastic, or one of them has a heart attack, or something happens to one of them, that the company can keep functioning, right? You don't want a multi-billion-dollar company to go down in flames because your sysadmin gets run over one day, right? You need multiple employees just for resiliency. Again, in the technology world, we talk about that with resiliency. I do think is what is kind of getting interesting in the AI world is, does AI allow you to reduce the number of employees you need for resiliency? Right, so that's one of the things I noticed. Like I do all these projects, right? Got all this kind of stuff going on in my little lab over here. And one of the interesting things with AI, right, is if I have a question, I can just go to AI to get the answer, right? So I'm dealing with these Raspberry Pi Picos right now. It's a new technology. I haven't played with it before, but I can just go to AI and it will give me a lot of the basic information I need to be able to start doing things with these little Picos, right? And what's curious there is how many employees and businesses simply exist because they can answer some questions every once in a while. Now, it sounds stupid, right? If you got a large company that deals with technology, right, having one person that knows a lot about this one esoteric area, they might actually only get a valuable question a couple of times a week. But look, if that question needs to be answered, then they're worth their six-figure salary. Well, the interesting thing is, again, with those types of employees, what happens when AI comes in? What happens when AI comes in and can answer the question well enough? Right? Can you start getting rid of that amount of fat? It's not about can you get rid of valuable employees, but can you start trimming down on your cogs? Just-in-time cog employees in the modern world. I do kind of think that's a thing to be pondering here. But anyways, yeah, Brian Armstrong came in and is firing people. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said Tuesday that the company will cut roughly 14% of its workforce, or about 700 employees, citing a combination of market volatility and AI quickly changing how the company operates. The move comes ahead of Coinbase's first earnings call, which the company is scheduled to report Thursday. Shares fell 2.5%. In a memo to employees, which he shared on X early Tuesday, Armstrong described the decision as necessary to position the firm for its next phase of growth while navigating the current downturn in the crypto market. And I do think the downturn in the crypto market is one of the bigger issues here. One of the things with crypto, again, with stock prices, we go to talk about this whole everything bubble, is you'll notice crypto and Bitcoin and all that really spiked when the government was printing money. Right? Remember back in the days when if the government started handing out money because people are having problems, which I don't have an issue with. But you could be an individual person making up to $75,000 a year, and you could get money from the government, these stipends or whatever. And if you were a couple making up to $150,000 a year, the government was handing you cash. Now Pelosi, got pushed on this because that's kind of stupid. Look, if you're a single parent that's barely getting by all means, hand those people cash so that they can feed their kids. Here's the thing. If you're a couple and you already have your house, because again, mortgage rates and all that were good back before COVID and all that, you already have your house, you have jobs that are not affected by COVID, you're still basically doing what you're always doing, right? Instead of going out on Friday nights for date night, you're staying in on Friday nights for date night. Like, what if that is basically the ramifications that COVID did to you? Anyways, Pelosi, Democrat, was pushed on this, and she said, well, everybody's having difficulties right now. So basically, they were just throwing out cash. So people that had more than enough money, people that had not been affected by the COVID disaster, at least from a financial status, were given thousands and thousands of dollars by the federal government. Well, if you're handed thousands and thousands of free dollars by the federal government, and you don't really need it, what are you going to do? You're going to buy crap that you probably wouldn't have bought before. And again, if you notice, like the Bitcoin charts really spike during the COVID cash printing spree. Well, that's over. And we're in the new macroeconomic environment. So probably a lot of that is going to get pulled back. And so it's interesting. Again, a company like Coinbase, if they're making money from all these cryptocurrency transactions, those cryptocurrency transactions get pulled back because of macro forces, then they're going to be shrinking. That's not AI. That's just economics. That's just not economics. Let's see here. He cited two forces, forcing converging at the same time, the current pullback in the crypto market and AI changing how we work. Although crypto is, quote, on the verge of the next wave of adoption, he said, our business is still volatile from quarter to quarter. We're currently in a down market and need to adjust our cost structure now so we can emerge from this period leaner, faster, and more efficient for our next phase of growth. Furthermore, quote, the pace of what's possible with a small focus team has changed dramatically, and it's accelerating every day, he said about AI. Quote, we are adjusting early and deliberately to rebuild Coinbase to be lean, fast, and AI native. We need to return to the speed and focus of our startup founding with AI at our core. I do think this is also interesting, again, to think about this with the layoff world. Right, if you think AI is only going to get better and better and better, one of the things to think about with layoffs is what is the right number of layoffs to do. So sometimes companies don't do as many layoffs as they want because, again, they want that cushion. What if the economy bounces back? What if Hormuz opens tomorrow? It's not going to, but maybe, right? Again, it takes a long time to onboard employees. It can take, for technology employees, it can take 6 months to a year to onboard employees. So if you get rid of employees and then you've got to hire employees back, that can be an agonizing, long, very expensive process. So one of the things these companies do sometimes is they do need to lay off employees, but they don't actually lay off as many employees as they want to, because again, it goes back to that whole concept of cushion. Well, what if you've bought into the whole AI fraud? What if you've bought into the AI delusion and believe AI is going to be doing more and more and more and more, right? You might be willing to cut more employees now because you believe the cushion that you require will be covered by artificial intelligence going into the future. AI might not be good enough today, but obviously it's going to be good enough 6 months from now. Ergo, let's fire a few more people. I think that's going to be some of the interesting stuff we see in the decision-making process for hiring and layoffs and that type of thing in the technology world. And it's one of those things you kind of got to consider out there. Let's see here. Clear Street analyst Owen Lau said the move should drive profitability going forward, and that given the crypto market's downturn, Coinbase is signaling to investors that it's managing that pressure as it has in the past. Again, signaling to investors, that's a very important thing. Quote, the first quarter results are expected to be weak because of the crypto bear market. The company wants to tell investors that management is actively managing the cost base to deliver positive adjusted EBITDA through the cycle. So again, this is all about investors, not about revenue or profit. This isn't the first time Coinbase has carried out layoffs during a crypto downturn and made significant cuts during the 2022 market decline. So anyways, there you go. Another technology company laying off hundreds of people at a shot. 14% of the employees, they just gotta go. And we're going to see more and more of this. As I've said before, I genuinely believe these companies are simply right-sizing to what they should be in a good economy. Spoiler, we're not in a good economy. So the concern here is I believe they're right-sizing to a good economy, and then basically once this process is done, they're all going to have to right-size to the economy that we're actually in. So do not expect this to be the last round of layoffs and such. So anyways, what do you think about this with Coinbase getting rid of employees and that type of deal? I see I have a couple of minutes left here. I try to make these videos under 15 minutes now, but I think we can sneak some technology in. Can we sneak some technology in? So I just want to show you one of the things that I'm currently playing with is this is my Geekom computer. This is a NUC. This is actually an AMD NUC. So look at this computer. This is a full-fledged computer. It's got like I think it's a 4 gigahertz processor in here. It's got 32 gigs of RAM. It's got a 1 terabyte solid state drive. Actually got a GPU in this thing. Basically, I use this for my more powerful robot projects. What's interesting is I'm running Ollama on it right now. So as you can see here, Ollama run GPT OSS. We're doing this in verbose mode. What's curious here with this is that this is a 20 billion parameter model. So I'm running a 20 billion parameter model on this little guy. We can see I put in a request right here, explain how to use a Lambda function in Python, answer in under 50 words. These models are a bit verbose, so you tell them to don't be so verbose. What you'll see is this actually took a 20 billion parameter model on this thing, took 10 seconds to respond with a rate of about 13 tokens per second. So I thought that might just be something for you to be thinking about. I know a lot of people out there, they're all into the Mac Mini world right now. And to be clear, I'm not anti-Mac Mini. If you can find a Mac Mini, buy one. But there are other small computers that are actually relatively powerful, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they exist. It's kind of weird with this whole open claw world that's been created. Have you noticed nobody is talking about NUCs? Nobody is talking at all. They're not even saying that NUCs are crap compared to Mac Minis. They're just not even bringing up the NUCs. So something to consider. NUCs do exist. They're cool. They've been around for, I don't know, 10, 15 years at this point. Geekom, this company, this may not be like a normal household name, but Geekom actually bought all the rights to this crap a while ago. So they're producing these. This is actually a 2-year-old. So again, when you look at that 12 tokens per second for a 20 billion parameter model, do you realize this is a 2 to 3-year-old version of one of these? So something new might actually be able to do you better. So again, just something to think about. I am running Ubuntu on here to make all this work. So there you go. There you go. I snuck some real technology into this video. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this. Instead of trying to teach you technology and then dump in my opinions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my opinions and then try to sneak in some technology. That's how we're going to go in the future. Because that, my friends, is how 2026 is. Anyways, if you want this episode in podcast form, you can go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Links are down in the doobly-doo. And with that, see y'all later.